The playoffs return to sticky bleachers. My name is Cory, and I'm ready for a great game. How about you?
I am ready for an exciting one here between Atlanta and Seattle. So let's get things kicked off, Cory.
Yes, a couple of red hot teams coming into the playoffs here. Matt Bryant to get things started off. So it's going to be the dangerous Russell Wilson-led offense for Seattle to start things off.
Yeah, high-powered defense versus high-powered offense. So exciting playoff matchup we have here. And to get things started, Tyler Lockett with a nice return there for Seattle.
That's a good start for them. Yeah, the Seattle Seahawks have looked scarily vulnerable this year, Bob. They're not quite the NFC powerhouse that they were, so we will see how they do without that big advantage of the 12th man up there in Seattle.
Absolutely. Beasley there with the sack, and so early struggles here for the Seahawks offense. But yes, you're right, Cory. Unfamiliar territory for Seattle here on the road in the playoffs.
Right, Russell Wilson, though, has plenty of time to throw here on third and very long. Let's see if he can get it complete to Lockett. No, he looked like he got kind of underneath the coverage there, Bob.
Yeah, he did. That was a beautifully thrown ball there by Wilson, and just out of the reach, though, for Lockett. And they'll force a punt, but we'll see how the Atlanta Falcons do here in home field advantage.
Not much of a return there on the punt, so really nice coverage for the Seattle punt team. So let's see how Matt Ryan, unrelated to Rex Ryan, I believe, does.
Yes, or Bo Ryan.
Or Bo Ryan, yes. Definitely doesn't have the look of the crazed Mountaineer man. Yet somehow very overweight, yet crazed mountain man.
Yes, with very large teeth. And there's a connection to Julio Jones there for a nice diving catch. I think it's very important after that completion, though. The Seattle Seahawks need to really stop this high-powered Atlanta Falcons offense here.
Now, I say they go to the ground with Devontae Freeman. I say they pound it. They go a different way. They have Ryan on a little rollout, and he's going to complete it to Devontae Freeman for the touchdown.
Nice play design there by offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan. A nice bootleg there to free up Matt Ryan for a nice touchdown throw to Devontae Freeman. So
there we go. Everybody, including me, was looking for a run up the middle, and they go around with a little screen-a-rooney there, Bob.
Yep. And the pat is good, and Bryant's set to kick off, so the Atlanta Falcons offense cooking here to start, Cory.
And let's see, Lockett does not have nearly as hefty a return as he did the first time. Now let's see if they can do something besides 3 and out here.
Now in the last few games there, Thomas Rawls is really an important factor for the Seattle defense, and he's running very gingerly out there in the field today.
Yeah, it looked like a play in slow motion, Bob. He does pick up 10 and the first down, but yes, very, very long developing play.
Seattle going from beast mode to sleep mode there, but CJ Prosise on the opposite end of the speed spectrum there with the touchdown or the catch and the completion up to the 30-yard line there, Cory.
Yeah, a couple of nice moves got him open, and then, of course, the yards after catch, very important. Russell Wilson here's back to pass again. Through traffic, going Doug Baldwin's way, and he connects for the touchdown, Bob.
Doug Touchdown Baldwin there, so...
Well, his nickname is Touchdown.
Oh, yeah. Sticky Bleachers certified. Absolutely, and Hauschka with the extra point here. So Seattle with a nice response there. Quick score, exactly what they needed. Let's see what this defense can do.
Yep, locking things up here. Under a minute to go in the first frame of play. Let's see what Matt Ryan comes back with. They had both teams on their scoring drives have been quick strikes.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll see what the defense do to compensate for the quick strike offense.
Uncharacteristic that they're going so much to the air. They have the unsuccessful little screen pass there to Devontae Freeman. I'm surprised they haven't gone to their ground game to see what that's got.
Well, I'm wondering if Atlanta sees something in Seattle's Earl Thompson-less defense here. So
yep.
They might be going attacking through the air without that excellent safety playing on the Seattle defense.
Right you are, Bob. 3rd down and 3 to start the second quarter, and Devontae Freeman on the pitch play will pick up the first down. So they're trying. They're not trying the middle, Bob. They've been dinking and dunking, trying the outside, trying a few different things. I'm just surprised they haven't tried their power ground game, but as you said, Bob, maybe they're just testing some things out, or they saw something on film that we missed this week.
Exactly. And another nice run there by Freeman, and looks like they're going to keep it on the ground again. So
here he is again, and he's got the sideline, and he's up to around midfield.
Averaging a hefty 7 or 8 yards there per carry, Cory.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at our Sticky Bleachers stat sheet when we hit halftime. But this one's going to hurt that average for a 7-yard loss on the pitch play. So they're going to have to try something else here. Maybe they'll go back to the air, and they do.
Not many teams have the 17-yard play, but Atlanta is one of those teams. So
there we go.
We'll see what they
Unfortunately,
can
it was
do.
incomplete to Tammy.
Oh, and Michael Bennett, longtime veteran with the sack there. So Seattle's defense comes through, and Atlanta's going to be forced to punt, Corey.
Yeah, so back they go, and they are going to try to kick it deep. So what looked like a pretty nice drive just starts going the other way, Bob, thanks to a couple of big tackles for loss.
Ooh, and a touchback there, and then he started taking it out there, so a little miscommunication with himself.
Yes, I'm not sure. Maybe his knee touched the ground there. Maybe the ref saw something we couldn't see from way high atop the Georgia Dome here.
There's Thomas Rawls. He got that sand out of his shoes, and he is off to the races there past the 50-yard line.
There we go. His dragged down from behind. So in enemy territory with 2:30 to go here are the Seahawks. Wilson's going to keep it himself. There we go. He's got the sideline, and he is wide open, Bob.
Can he get into the end zone there for the touchdown? And he can. So a nice little scamper there by Russell Wilson.
He turned on the jets there, Bob, and it looks like the defender was going for him. He turned on the afterburners, and it just whiffed on, like Russell Wilson was there, and Looney Tunes cartoon style, there was a Russell Wilson-shaped plume of smoke that was all the defender wrapped up.
Looks like he kind of juked him, like he faked he was going out of bounds there, and they stayed in bounds. So the defender not wanting to get the unnecessary penalty there, kind of gave up on the play a little bit. So crafty move there by.
Yes, definitely a crafty move, taking advantage of some of our quarterback safety rules here. Defenders have to play a little bit gingerly near the sideline. Russell Wilson took advantage, as you said, Bob, cut it back inside when the defender slowed down, and we all saw what happened, 14-7.
That's going to be something to keep an eye on, too. Russell Wilson's mobility could definitely be an X factor in this game.
Ooh. Dante Freeman showing us a little bit of the Adrian Peterson tango, Bob.
The AP tango. Definitely a very popular move here for NFL running backs this season.
All right, Matt Ryan has a little bit of time, connects with Coleman, and he sheds a tackler to pick up some yards after catch, Bob.
Absolutely. I don't think it was that Cam Chancellor that he tossed into the sidelines there. But anyway.
Unconfirmed, our sidelines are awfully empty. I don't see any players or coaches there on the sidelines, just a couple of cheerleaders. Interesting. I'm not sure where they're hiding out.
Oh, but Tammy with the reception here, and he gets all the way down inside the 10. And a little note on the sidelines, Corey. Everyone is actually up in a booth here in Atlanta. So all the sideline players and everything, they took the luxury boxes and they just decided to make them player corrals here.
Okay, interesting. Thank you for that report there, Bob. 22 seconds left to go, by the way, in the first half. Second down here in goal to go. Devontae Freeman's got it. He's inside the 5, and he's going to get wrapped up at the 4. Third down, 5 to go, and they're going to have to go to kick the field goal. I think they're out of timeouts, Bob.
They are out of timeouts with 1 second left. Here's the field goal attempt here by Bryant. And it is up and good. So 10 points on the board here for the Falcons. And that's going to take us into halftime here, Corey.
Although you have to think, Bob, that there should have been a pass play called somewhere in that sequence, knowing that they were going to run out of timeouts on third down, not saving one for a fourth down kick. They really kind of shot themselves in the foot in terms of getting another shot at the end zone.
Absolutely. Definitely a victory for the Seattle defense there to keep them out of the end zone and force them to kick a field goal.
All right, there we go. Devontae Freeman having a great game. So anybody's ball game as we go to the second half. Let me give a shout out to Tech Monster, the programmer of this particular patch. You can find this patch and a lot more about Tecmo Super Bowl in the year 2017 over at tecmobowl.org and tecmobowlers.com. You can find out more about the world of competitive Tecmo Super Bowl playing.
The vast world of Tecmo Super Bowl playing.
Unbelievably vast. In the age of the internet, able to connect people with as niche entertainment preferences as Tecmo Super Bowl at a very, very high level.
Well, they got it right the first time, Corey. I mean, this is just the highest, most technologically advanced simulation software we possibly have out there.
Well, you know, Bob, I know you're not really being facetious because when you look at the secondary market, you look at what a cartridge of this game costs and what, say, something like Madden 04 goes for on the Nintendo 64. I just saw a cartridge of that at Goodwill today. That's what made me think of that one.
It's a staple in pretty much any Goodwill you go to. You can find an N64 cartridge of some sort there.
Yes, there we go. And actually, I did pick up an N64 cart today, Bob Areno and our Sticky Bleachers audience. It was WCW NWO World Tour.
Ooh, phenomenal game. Can't believe someone let that go.
Oh, I can't.
Did it have the nice, like, used stains on it that it's just from dirt on the fingernails and everything?
Yes, plenty of stains. The pins looked okay inside the cartridge, but the outside of the cartridge was pretty beat up. It looked like some gum, maybe some cat poop. I'm not quite sure what was all on the cartridge. The typical things you find on an N64
Debris.
cart when it ends up at Goodwill. Meanwhile, we have a playoff football game here, Bob. Someone's going home sad today, and Russell Wilson trying to make sure it is not his Seahawks.
And again, Russell Wilson with a nice run there. So eating the clock, controlling the ball, and moving the ball down the field. But they put the ball on the ground, and it is recovered by the Falcons. Robert Alford with the return, or the recovery there, and this little return.
Yes.
But,
so that's going
Falcons
to
are in
turn
business
things
here.
around, Bob. Seahawks looking to turn a long scoring drive, and now suddenly we've got red zone possession here, although with the loss there, 2nd down and 11 for the Falcons.
Matt Ryan dropping back to pass. A little bit of protection there. They got to him just at the end, but it is intercepted there. Earl Thomas actually coming back out of retirement from that broken leg. So again, our Sticky Bleachers surgeons here are just phenomenal.
Yes, I'd love to see all of these former Pro Bowlers coming back to play later on in the years when they retire.
Absolutely, and definitely a nice piece to add to the Seattle defense is Earl Thomas. So Thomas rolls.
My call for the next player is going to be Ricky Williams.
Oh, we're going to get Ricky Williams back. Oh, that'd be awesome.
That's my prediction for our Sticky Bleachers surgeons. I understand they're working on him downstairs as we speak, Bob.
I like that. Is he going to come back with the Saints or the Dolphins?
I'm going to say he's going to come back with the Dolphins because I preferred his hair when he played for the Dolphins.
You preferred the Dolphins' hair? It was
preferred
Miami,
the Dolphins'
so.
hair.
And
Yes.
there's touchdown Baldwin with the reception. He gets to the 20, he gets to the 15, the 10, and he's wrestled down just inside the 10, probably the 9 or 8 yard line there, Corey. So not touchdown territory, but pretty dang close.
There you go. Both teams holding up 4 fingers as we head to the final frame of this playoff game. Russell Wilson gets sackaroonied on 1st down, so 2nd down, 19 to go to I think it's 2nd down and goal from the 19.
Still a slight victory there for Seattle, forcing Atlanta to take a timeout there. And an overthrown ball there, so we're going to get 3rd down here. And 3rd down and 19.
Yep, and they've got to take a shot. They're well within kicking range here in the dome situation, so no use trying to get part of it. That's overthrown. He looks like he had Lockett wide open in the corner of the end zone, so a couple of bad thrown balls, Bob.
Yep, and he also had Jimmy Graham on the underneath route there, wide open as well, so he could have just tossed it down, and Jimmy Graham probably could have moonwalked into the end zone there, Corey.
Well, there we go. So instead of making it a 2-score game, it is now just a 7-point difference between our leaders and our followers here on the playoff action.
Got a nail biter here coming down to the end here, Corey.
Yep, the Georgia Dome is a rockin' Ludacris, really making things happen, Bob. I understand he's in attendance today.
We need the Dirty Bird 2.0.
Oh, wouldn't that be
Reference
nice?
to 1998 there. I'll drop that. Pick it up later.
And so is Ludacris.
Absolutely.
Right about the same time. He is not doing anything at the 50-yard line as of yet, Bob.
No, with the game up in the air still, Luda is in the shadows as well.
Yes, wisely, I would say. That pass is tipped, but it is going to fall incomplete. That was dangerous on the tip drill, Bob. There was a lot of white jerseys swarming around that tip ball.
There were, and Falcons have to hit a nice punt here. They got to pin the Seahawks back quite a bit, and they do get that nice punt, Corey. A very
it's a
long,
boomer.
booming punt.
But
Lockett
look
with
at
the
this.
return.
And Lockett might be a secret possible player of the game with his special teams work, Bob.
Yeah, he's really giving them some nice field position on the
Yes.
kickoff and punt returns. Wilson with the keeper, and he's going to get out past the 40 to the 1st down and to about the 50-yard line. So, again, Russell Wilson's legs helping out the Seahawks, Corey.
Wow. And again, turning on the Rockets and kind of making it look like the Atlanta defense is playing with cement shoes here, Bob.
Yep, they took Thomas Rawls' shoes, actually, from the first half. And there's Doug Baldwin, Mr. TD himself.
Touchdown, Baldwin.
Puts the nail in the coffin here, it looks like, for Seattle.
You're right, Bob. That might just about ice this one. Under 2 minutes to go here. We are going to see Atlanta do their very, very best to score a couple of touchdowns quickly. But barring any craziness, it looks like it's going to be Seattle moving on in our Sticky Bleacher simulation.
Hauschka with the kick there, received at about the 8-yard line. And a nice return here by Robinson. He gets out past the 30, so we'll see if this high-powered Falcons offense, it's been quiet most of the day, can put some quick points on the boards, Corey.
There you go, Bob. Now, that was a good return, but it did take off 25 full seconds of this clock, and they're not scared to go to the ground game, Bob, and they call their second timeout, so only one timeout to go, needing 2 touchdowns. I'm not quite sure I love that play call.
I'm not sure I love it either, and I'm also not sure I love the lack of Julio Jones in this game.
Yes, you're right.
Best receivers in the NFL. We haven't really called his name at all.
We saw him once make that nice diving grab in the first quarter on their first scoring drive, but you're right, Bob. I think he's been quiet since, and I'm not sure he's been covered up all that much. It looks like they've just been doubling, tripling, and quadrupling down on Devontae Freeman.
Yeah, and it seems like Matt Ryan has enough time to, especially with the bootlegs and everything, to get to Julio Jones. He just hasn't found him, so...
And looks like the Seahawks, Bob, are very happy to just keep everything in front of them. They're letting them have those 10-yard runs as long as they keep it to the center of the field. And Atlanta's playing right into their hands. Now, there is Julio Jones, Bob.
There is Julio Jones, but sadly, I think it is too little too late, Corey. So some last-ditch effort points here by Matt Ryan and the Falcons, but with 2 seconds left, I just don't see it in the stars.
Yeah, and I do see, they're celebrating a good season, trying to put on a show for their fans here, many of whom are streaming for the exits. They're going to go for the onside kick, and...
Rawls gets it, and he breaks a tackle, and he takes it out to the 30, sheds a tackler.
Wow.
But that will take us to the end of the game there, so they were trying to put a little extra icing on that cake at the end.
And that's dangerous. I'm sure that coach is going to have a chat with them about that, because in technically a one touchdown game, and you grab that onside kick, you want to get yourself down and end that ball game. You keep that ball alive, you get a fumble, you get a return, we get craziness happening.
Absolutely. Fall on the ball, stay down. But
well,
anyway.
There we go. So the Seahawks do take it 24-17 over the hapless Falcons, celebrating a good season, but it will be the Seahawks heading on to the NFC Championship game in our simulation, Bob. Who do you think player of the game, Bob? Touchdown Baldwin?
I think it's got to go to Russell Wilson. It was his legs and touchdown throws that really kept him in this game and kept the offense moving down the field. And his legs, again, like I said, were the X factor. And they really separated and kept some drives going down the stretch of the game.
Right you are, Bob. And looking at the stat line there, Russell Wilson, both their passing and their rushing leader, something that's not uncommon for him. And you know that when that happens in a playoff game and he's up around 100 yards and close to 200 passing, you're going to have a good day.
It's going to have a good day. And 0 interceptions there. So I know they did drop that fumble.
Yes.
And it was recovered by the Falcons, but they could not turn it into much. So Seahawks with an impressive win here in Atlanta.
Right you are, Bob. So stay tuned for Sticky Bleachers next week, where the Seahawks will take on the winner of the other NFC divisional round game. Also, check our channel where we have our alternate timeline.
Our alternate universe.
Yes, our alternate universe of the regular season simulation playoff series that we did when we played all 17 weeks on Tecmo's Super Bowl, program by Tech Monster, and we played through the playoffs all the way through, so you should check those divisional games out with no commentary. You also check out our real-life simulations with commentary in the other side of the alternate universe.
I actually prefer the alternate universe, actually.
Okay, all right.
I like the alternate timeline.
The alternate timeline. Well, you can check out either or both series, and if you do, we would highly suggest that you leave us a comment. You hit that thumbs up button. You subscribe if you have not already. We're still 20% of the way to 100 subscribers, Bob. I can feel it. It's coming.
Double digits, baby.
Find us on Twitter, where we are Sticky Bleachers, and Facebook, where we are Sticky Bleachers. Until next time, we will see you later. I am Cory, signing off.
I'm Bob. We'll see you later.